Reporting from Hughes Stadium, I'm Brett Kennedy. Reporting from Moby Arena, I'm Brett Kennedy. From War Memorial Stadium, I'm Brett Kennedy. I'm Brett Kennedy from Sports Authority Field at Mile High.
Well, you can chalk up last weekend as another successful downpour of W's all around for Colorado State sports. So this will be another scary test for CSU. Oh, Halloween puns are fun.
Brace yourselves, Rams fans. Winter is coming.
Colorado State football team headed up to Laramie on Saturday to face Wyoming for the annual border war. On the team's first drive, Nick Stevens led them down the field, highlighted by this huge pass to Kevon Cartwright down to the 10-yard line. A few plays later, Izzy Matthews dove over the pile to give the Rams a 7-0 lead. On Wyoming's first drive, star running back Brian Hill fumbled, and it was recovered by Trent Matthews, and CSU was able to get a field goal off of that drive. There's some great news for the Colorado State women's tennis team today. Senior Natalie Heffron has earned all Mountain West honors for her performance as the #1 singles player for the Rams. Heffron has won 12 singles matches this year and helped Colorado State earn an upset victory over New Mexico, which was possibly the biggest win in program history. The Colorado State softball team heads out west to take on Boise State in a 3-game series this weekend. The Rams swept the Broncos last year at Ram Field and certainly are hoping to do the same in Boise after coming off a series against conference-leading San Diego State in which the Rams lost 2 out of the 3 games. This drops CSU's record under 500 at 23-24. The Colorado State men's basketball team traveled up to Laramie last night to take on Wyoming. Thoughts of the Rams closing the conference standings gap with Wyoming soon faded away, however, as the Cowboys won the game 59-48. CSU had one of its worst scoring performances of the year, shooting a dismal 18 for 60 from the field. For you stat geeks out there, that comes out to an ugly 30%. The Rams struggled from the three-point arc as well, going for 3 for 25. CSU had no answers for senior forwards Larry Nance Jr. and Derek Cook Jr. as both finished the game with a double-double. Nance had 19 points and 12 boards, and Cook had 12 points and 11 boards. Here's what head coach Larry Eustace had to say after the game.
And Wyoming's a good team, and we're a real good team. Some games you just can't explain. And it was just one of those games.
I'm Brett Kennedy here at the Rams soccer field, and I'm going to get the chance to talk to CSU goaltender Jessie McGinley, and I'm going to get a feel for how superstitious she is, how she prepares for games, and then I'm going to put her in the goal, and I'm going to try to get a ball past her. Let's see how this turns out. Colorado State goaltender Jessie McGinley hails from the small town of Truckee, California, which drives her motivation to make a name for herself.
It's really hard to make it out of that town. For athletics or anything, so obviously playing club like 2 hours away from my hometown, and everything is just very small, so I think that's driven me to be the person I am today.
Along with playing for CSU, McGinley has played in a semi-professional league before, which has fueled her will to compete.
It was really cool because I was able to play with people aspiring to be professional players as well as other girls who were in Division I sports. One of my teammates was actually like a 30-year-old from like retired Irish professional, which was bizarre, but she was hilarious. But yeah, it was just very eclectic, and it was cool to compete in that kind of realm.
McGinley is a very superstitious person. She often changes her hairstyle, and if the team wins, she keeps it.
I don't know, it's really hard to make a decision on like what hairstyle I should wear. Like, one time I was wearing a bun and I'd had a good game, so I was like, maybe it's the bun.
But the most interesting superstition she does before games involves some creativity.
I color because, well, I like coloring, but obviously, but to like keep myself not too amped up before games. Like if I sit there and like get psyched out and like have mental imaging and like all of this stuff before the game, get way too psyched out, then I just like won't play good. I know from experience. So the coloring kind of like helps me like chill out a little bit and kind of puts it all in perspective.
It's like your stress ball. It's like
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go play.
Okay, let's color Curious George. Yep, that's my stress ball.
All right, Jesse, it's time for the moment of truth. I'm going to try to score a goal on you. How do you think I'll fare?
Well, we'll just have to see about that. I don't
I
know.
I played a lot in elementary school and middle school, so
There we
I'm all
go.
ready to go.
Whatever
So-
helps, yeah.
She doesn't believe in me. Let's see what happens. Gotta get ready. Gonna make this shot. You're going down, Jesse. You are going down. And that's why she's the CSU goalie. Good job. Thank you. That was fun. At 6 p.m., 3 times a week, the Colorado State rugby team has practice, and as their season is winding down, they keep working to get their fundamentals perfect.
It's a lot about the basics. You have to really attack with a lot of depth so you're catching the ball at full speed. If you can just get an accurate pass, it means a ton. Like, it doesn't seem like much, but it changes the whole flow of the game.
Head coach Justin Mort and backs coach Ryan Walker emphasize to their players to not forget the easy parts of their game plan, even when the team is doing well.
And each game, we just send them little precise messages about doing the simple things right. The things that you kind of take for granted when you start winning a lot of games. All right, we're just emphasizing the basics and the simple skills.
As outside center Luke Inglehop sees it, the team's ability to play off one another has gotten better by putting the team first.
What we've improved on best this year is coming together as one unit, being able to play together as a team, knowing what each other are thinking, being able to play as a brotherhood on the field and off the field.
On a 10-game win streak heading into their Big Sevens tournament on April 11th, the team failed to make nationals for the first time in 3 years, but this season was still looked at as one where they got closer as a family.
There's nothing better than having a guy next to you that you're willing to fight for and willing to put your life on the line for.
This bonding of players has made Coach Walker's job a little easier.
It's not as if they show up to practice and leave and go home and all go their separate ways. So they're all hanging out, studying film, they're all doing those sorts of things because they're friends and they enjoy it and they enjoy each other's company. So that makes my job so much easier when they're getting together like that.
Brett Kennedy, CTV Sports. Reporting here for War Memorial Stadium, I'm Brett Kennedy for CTV Sports. The border war is over. CSU takes this one 26-7. CSU quarterback Nick Stevens is in for a rough day. This defense knows how to turn the ball over, and this offense knows how to score points and score quickly. Quarterback Brett Rippon, Mark Rippon's nephew, has been tearing it up this season, and he's only a freshman. The Colorado State women's basketball team has made history. 20 straight wins in a row as they beat the Utah State Aggies 91-64. Jamie Patrick had a monstrous game, 7 3-point shots, a career high for her. The Rams didn't have a lot of three-point attempts in this game, but they really didn't need them. They were able to dominate the paint inside and get some easy layups, which was a huge part of the Rams' win today. Now the Rams are 18-1 on the year, and San Diego State comes to town for the next game. Football is back in Fort Collins. It's the first game of the year, Colorado State versus Savannah State. Now Savannah State has lost 21 straight football games, and that looks good for new head football coach Mike Bobo and new quarterback Nick Stevens. The Colorado State Rams shot a dismal 21% in that first half, but in the second half, 9 straight points to come out of the gate by Emmanuel Mogo got the team fired up, and John Gillen finished with 22 points of his own, had some clutch three-point shots in that second half. Colorado was down early to Colorado State 14-3 in the first half, but they battled back, and in the second half they forced overtime. The CSU Rams offense was all over the field. Nick Stevens, 4 touchdown passes. Rashard Higgins, 3 touchdown catches. Dalen Dawkins, the second straight game in which he rushed over 100 yards.